Welcome to more Gran Turismo Sports Specialtatin. Today we're featuring the Daily Race C involving karts at Brands Hatch Indy, which I've had karts at Brands Hatch Indy on the channel, well, a whole heck of a heap, I'll be quite honest. But I'll just say this race is different than the usual sort of kind of negativeness, because I might as well go ahead and start being positive. As I said in the big announcement video, I might as well do Specialtatins in a positive way now. I mean, GT Sport has a whole heck of a heap of negatives, but everybody knows them by now, so I'll be positive. Kart racing is positively entertaining, that's for sure, folks. So, that should help in general, and it helps that I'm on the pole as well. More kart races than not, it does seem like I'm on the pole. But either way, even when I ain't, bad things may happen. Or they may not. I mean, as of now, I have a decent lead. I have a lead. Well, draft is slightly OP, but whatever. If that driver gets around right now, it's really no big deal at all. Daily Race C ain't as long as the Nations Cup, but it's the longest of the 3 daily races, so it could be shorter. I don't think they'd ever really do a kart race on like Daily Race A necessarily, because karts are so odd anyway in the way in which they do the laps, where they actually do the laps shorter than the karts can actually run a track, meaning usually Daily Race C is always longer than when it's a kart Daily Race C. I don't think it'd ever be an A, but where karts don't actually have fuel and tire consumption anyway, it doesn't matter too much. But well, the penalties, they matter. But still early in the race, so not that big of a deal. Actually, where I'm now in the draft line, I can delete the penalty as well, and those two are going to be racing each other. They're probably clean. And we've already figured out that clean racing in Gran Turismo Sport means both drivers involved get a penalty. Think about what I said there and analyze that for a bit, because I'm going to try to be positive from now on, but remember to just keep that in mind. Clean racing in Gran Turismo Sport between 2 drivers equals both drivers involved get a penalty. Moving on. Now I'm trying to delete this penalty and let those 2 drivers race each other. Y'all know what that means. So, I can't really complain. I'm just going to try to stay out of this battle for now, unless they like wreck or something, and gradually delete the penalty. That seems doable to me. I'm doing it right now, and I see no reason that will end anytime soon. 4th is a good ways back there, and I'm a good ways to the leaders. As long as I stay in the draft, there's really not that much worry here. I ain't gonna downright say I'm going to stay in the draft, just because they are battling very hard, honestly. I think that was actual, like, I wouldn't really say intentional contact, but that was like a whole heck of a heap of contact. And then that made one of the drivers back off right where I was. I can see backing off some when there's a bit of scary contact in karts that are unstable, but you need to watch where you back off to, because that just gave both of us yet another penalty. Again, I can still delete the penalties better than the front 2, but remember how I said I wasn't 100% sure if I'd be able to stay in draft while deleting a penalty? Well, that's exactly what happened there. So now I need to decide if I need to go ahead and race hard to get back in the draft line, or continue deleting the penalty how I am. In the long run, it might be better to go ahead and get in the draft line, so that way I can delete the penalty in the long run faster, because draft in general makes my car faster. But the more I'm behind, if one of them starts getting away, that means the faster they can go too. But if I get there, then I'm yet another presence for them to worry about, so that may slow them down a bit more. So it's kind of really hard to say exactly what to do, but I kind of unintentionally ended back in the draft line anyway, so whatever, that's fine. Between the 2 choices, I think overall this may be the better one. As I said, it definitely would be in the long run, but it's also a little bit scarier in the shorter run, especially now, because right now I'm in the middle of the pack and I still need to lead a penalty. Wish me luck, folks. I just had positive vibes going into this and hope for the best. And expect the pass here? Maybe? Actually, yeah, it's looking like I'm going to be able to get the pass done here. There we go, folks. So now I'm actually in the lead. And the penalty still goes up. That driver turned into me. Y'all saw that there. I'm going to leave that alone and continue on because, well, I'm continuing on in the lead. And as y'all saw there, too, that other driver got a penalty as well. But still, I'm only going to say this once because I'll keep it positive. The driver who's the victim of someone running into them should not get a penalty at all. Moving on. Because now I need to move on to a point of which I can delete the penalties, which is going to be virtually impossible because they both now have my draft. This is basically at this point going to be a race of, well, never mind. I don't know what that was about, honestly, but, well, that's about the end of my race, isn't it? Moving on, this is fast forwarded a bit later in the race to the point of now I'm in 4th. During that bit where I fast forwarded, I went ahead and deleted the penalty because that was basically me waving the white flag of I can't win this race, the odds are 2 against me. But maybe I can get 3rd, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Actually, that driver's giving me a good amount of room there, so... There we go, everybody's racing clean, but I said before about what happens when 2 drivers race clean with each... Actually, that's not even all that much clean. Give me room for Jim and Cricket's sake. Well, that's completely that driver's fault. That driver literally ran me to the very bottom of the track, and that driver kind of got what they deserved. Whatever, I actually did not get a penalty for that. Hallelujah, folks. And I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, because, just watch, look, and listen. Yay! For me, not that other driver. If y'all couldn't see what happened there, well, it wasn't actually as much on screen as on the map. That's why I went ahead and showed the map there. But from what I could tell, second just got loose around that area with the lowered rumble strip. So that might have mean they hit the raised rumble strip, but even not so, there's kind of still a chance of spinning. Either way, that driver spun, so now I'm in second. And now, all I need to do is track down first. I don't have a penalty anymore, so I get my own racing line. I don't have to worry about anyone else. Now it's just a game of driving skill. There's really nothing else in the way there. There's no chance of penalties. There's no chance of other drivers really wrecking. I guess first could wreck, but if first wrecks, I mean, even if that does end up giving me a penalty somehow, that probably means I'm still going to get around, and that driver would end up with a penalty as well. So whatever. And actually that lap car there gave me a slight bit of draft. Yay, PD actually did something right too. Is in the first update involving ghosts, they didn't let them have draft physics. Now it's they have all the physics of a real car, just when you pass them you can go through them. Meaning the lap down cars still have ghosts, but they also still have draft. So that's a nice combination there. That's as realistically as you can make ghosting be, so that's a plus there. Good job, PD. So, moving on to maybe the lead. Maybe, in a little while. As of now, as y'all can tell, I'm driving my absolute daintiest, but that's kind of hard to do in a kart. Overall, I really don't even know if that's helping me in the long run, because the longer this goes, the more chance I have of spinning driving on the absolute max, but I know I'm also technically faster because I did get the pole. So I know that if I am at my max, I can catch up. It's just a matter of if I can stay at my max long enough to catch up and also not spin. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. So again, I'll expect, or I'll hope for the best. I'll expect, well, I see the leader. I'll say that, I see the leader. But it is the final lap, so unless the leader deletes penalties, I kind of don't have much of a chance. If the leader has a whole heck of a heap of penalties still, then maybe. But then again, I am catching a whole heck of a heap, so maybe, just maybe, the leader has a few penalties. At this point, I couldn't see it because that was before the most recent update, but I hope for the best, folks. If the leader has penalties, which it kind of look like they did, because that's what they seem to be slowing down for, is delete the penalties, now I might be able to get a win. Hallelujah, folks. Well, I stayed racing to my absolute dandiest. dandiest, and it worked out. Well then, I just kept a positive attitude, kept racing as hard as I could, luckily didn't spin out, and everything worked out in the end. Penalties are still broken, and it's looking like, at least for PD, they're beyond repair. I'm not sure PD can fix the penalties. But, well, when other people try to make the racing fixed, then that helps. Not fixed in terms of rigged, fixed in terms of they kind of help each other in a way that fixes it. Like literal fixing as in like with tools and like good things, not fixing as in like rigged. Y'all get what I mean. But anyway, we all kind of did that. We kind of worked together. We understood that the penalty system was broken and all, but that one driver who got spun out for not giving me room on the bottom did pretty well, and I guess I technically did the best. I'd rather win a race by actually winning the race crossing the line first, but I'll take it. I stayed running strong the whole time. I never gave up, and it worked out in the end. That's most definitely worth a yeehaw.